Okay everybody, it's time for something different on this channel. It's time to discuss news about Formula 1, so let's have a look at the main headlines for today. So our first headline today is Honda expects to overtake Renault this year. Renault! So, although Renault are, I'd say, third place, just obviously behind Mercedes and Ferrari, and Honda, who are the worst people ever to make an engine currently this year. Of course, they've made great engines in the past, but for 2017 and, well, you have to say the whole hybrid era when they first came in has been absolutely appalling. So I'm sorry, Mr. Hasegawa, but you've made some promises before, and I don't really see you overtaking Renault this year. You might overtake them as in on the track, in tracks, for example, like Hungary and Singapore, but unless something miraculous happens, I don't see you overtaking Renault. But I could be wrong, and if I am wrong, well, I shall be wrong. Our next story then is the MotoGP race, even though this hasn't got anything to do with Formula 1, I know, but MotoGP is still a very interesting sport, and it was very close. The championship is quite considerably tight between a lot of contenders, but of course Marquez getting that victory at the Czech Republic Grand Prix. And congratulations for him for that, but you have to say it was all down to him making that brilliant call to go onto the dry tyres earlier than his competitors. So congratulations to Marc Marquez. He is now leading the championship by, well, you have to say a considerable margin from his rivals. Next, we have some extraordinary news developing. That is who will replace Kimi Raikkonen. So it's been talked about for a very long time. I think ever since 2014, ever since he joined Ferrari, basically when he started to underperform. You have to say, as Alonso did, get a lot of great results in that 2014 car. You may not call them great, but getting 2 podiums in a car that you have to say was not good at all for that kind of result. But who will replace him? Well, people were saying Vettel, but then Alonso left, so then it was Vettel and Raikkonen, and now people are saying, well, if Raikkonen's gonna go, it's gonna go to someone like Perez or Grosjean or Leclerc. And let me tell you for once here, Leclerc is not going to get that seat. There's no way Ferrari would ever put a rookie in one of their cars. It hasn't happened before ever, I don't think. I'm trying to actually no, I cannot think of any other instance when Ferrari actually put a rookie in their car, and this is of course not going back into the 50s and 60s where they used to swap drivers out every 10 minutes or so, of course, because you know they would burn in flames and die a horrible death. But anyway, so what will happen then to Kimi Raikkonen? Well, he'll probably retire and enjoy the quiet life. I think Kimi Raikkonen is going to stay for 2018, but if he were to leave, I think it would be Sergio Perez who would take that seat. So a lot of people have been talking about Robert Kubica and this huge comeback he could be making to the sport. Well, Oliver Rowland says he's contending with Robert Kubica to get that second Renault seat. Of course, Hülkenberg will obviously stay, or he might not, but I can't see him going anywhere else. And if you just heard a little bit of noise in the background, I just fell over something. Anyway, so Oliver Rowland, Robert Kubica. If I was the Renault driver choosing, whatever you call them, director, technical director, driver director, whatever director you want to call, if I were the boss of Renault, I'd say Kubica, you've got an injury that may compromise your performances. Oliver Rowland, you know, you're a rookie. I don't know if you're going to perform as well as Robert Kubica, who I know will do well, but that injury, you know, he hasn't raced in a race meeting since the 2010 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, and that could make him slower. Roland could be, you know, an upcoming star. It's a difficult decision, but what I think they should do is they should book a track. Let's say, okay, let's go to Paul Ricard or whatever Renault French track that's closest to their factory, and they should pop Kubica in the car, let him go around for a little bit, and then come back, and then put Roland in the car, in the same exact car with the same exact setup, and put him to go around the track for a couple of minutes, and then come back, and whoever's fastest gets the seat. That happened to Jenson Button in Williams in 2000, and I think it should happen here with Kubica and Roland, and then you will definitely know that Renault have made the right choice, because whoever's faster should get the seat. And unfortunately, Marcus Ericsson in the Sauber is a driver who has paid his way to get to Formula 1. And unfortunately, I'm sorry Marcus Ericsson, but I'm going to have to remove you from my F1 2017 career mode, because I believe that Pascal Wehrlein will be better. And yes, that means I'm driving for Sauber for my F1 2017 career mode. So that is an exclusive to this channel. Okay. Right, so that is the main kind of headlines, and now we're going to get into the mini scoops. So what kind of things have we got lined up here? Well, apparently according to Little THD, who runs a channel called OMGF1, he has put out 2 videos, and I have to say they are very controversial videos. And the first one he uploaded is Fernando Alonso to leave F1 for Indy 500. Now, there were a lot of question marks after that title, which got me wondering, is this a reliable source? And after much deliberation over the few seconds I had to research and come up with a definitive answer, I have to say this is a complete inaccuracy. I'm sorry, but there's no way Fernando Alonso is going to go to IndyCar for 2018. But he didn't say that. He said Indy 500, and that could be a possibility. Alonso might want to go to and have another crack at the Indy 500 if he was going to leave F1. But we haven't heard what McLaren are going to do with their engines for next year, so unfortunately we do not know what Fernando Alonso will do. He could stay on for 2018. Imagine if McLaren get Honda to leave and just get all their stuff and pack up and just go after having so many issues. So that could be a possibility. That Alonso could leave F1 for the Indy 500, but that's only one race event though. I suspect he'll be wanting to race in Le Mans, and with Porsche leaving and only Toyota here, you may have to think that Alonso will have a huge advantage if he were to compete in the 2018 Le Mans series. Get a Toyota seat and he's guaranteed of getting a podium or at least victory. But it's not really guaranteed, is it? Because, I mean, just look what happened to Toyota. They had so many issues and it did look like they were going to win the race. So that kind of Toyota curse around Le Mans is something to take note here. Anyway, his second video, and it states here, the title, Christian Horner accusing Lewis Hamilton. Now, what was Christian Horner accusing Lewis Hamilton of? Well, apparently, Christian Horner accuses Lewis Hamilton because he's on his phone and that was an incident ages ago, but he wasn't talking about that incident. So, what was Christian Horner complaining about and accusing Lewis Hamilton of? It was not going to that F1 London event. And to be honest with you, I'm sick and tired of hearing that story, so I decided to put it last anyway. And because I just said that was the last story, that means it's time for the end of this video. Now, this has been a very different video indeed. You've seen images of Fernando Alonso and Lewis Hamilton and Christian Horner and all that stuff, all F1 cars. No gameplay. Now, I'm thinking, should I include gameplay or should I put images of real life F1 stuff? It's up to you, so please do comment down below if you want to see images or if you want to see gameplay. I mean, I don't really mind which one you choose of, and yeah, it's only a way of how I can improve these news videos. But anyway, that is the end of the F1 News Report for Monday, the 7th of August 2017. Hopefully this can be a daily thing. If it's not, then it might turn into a weekly thing, because Formula 1, you know, you get 1 or 2 stories every day, but it's not really good just to say, oh yeah, there's been rumours that Alonso is going to leave for Minardi. I mean, you know, that's a ridiculous story, of course, and that will never happen because Minardi's not really in Formula 1 anymore. But who knows? I mean, bizarre things have happened in Formula 1. If there's a good story, if there's a couple of good stories, then I'll make a video, and I think that it will probably have to be weekly, but I'm gonna do it daily for now, and we'll see how it goes. As something dropped on the floor there. Anyway, that's none of your concern, it's one of my concerns, and I think it's time to end this video. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel for more daily F1 news content for now, and until next time, goodbye.